Welcome back, fine people of the internet. I swear if I had to do another voiceover video for weather or being sick or whatever, my head was going to explode. So good to be back out on a bike. And the bike that we're on, I drug out Scarlett 2012 GSXR 600. Figured we'd give old Rat Trap a break this week. And this bike fits a little more of the subject that I want to talk about today. Microtransactions in motorcycling. Now I'll go ahead and lead off because I'm a little biased in this. My opinion is that that crap does not belong in motorcycling at all. As some of you may be aware, Tesla actually started this idea with their customers, where you buy a vehicle and then you pay them to basically unlock features that are already kind of there. Like the technology exists, the parts may already be on the vehicle, but you pay them extra to make them work properly, or better, I guess. They have the capability of making it better, but all they've done is lock you out of certain things unless you pay them extra. There was an article, I believe by Revzilla some time ago, that alluded to Zero doing this on their bikes, where you bought your Zero motorcycle, but then you could pay more to extend the range of the battery that was already in the bike. Why are they reducing your range on a bike that you just paid for in order to get you to pay more to unlock that range? I believe they also had a paid unlock for more performance, which, you know, a lot of bikes come with different rider modes, A, B, and C mode, rain mode, track, sport. They were essentially locking you out of sport mode unless you paid more for it. One of the latest things I've seen was actually a first ride video from Chase on Two Wheels, where he was doing a first ride review of the KTM Super Duke R. And on Chase's ride of the Super Duke, he discussed it a little bit, and turns out we have a very similar opinion of this kind of business model, that it is garbage. But KTM decides to lock you out of the quick shifters on the bike unless you pay more, and go to a shop to have them basically unlocked or, you know, programmed, whatever. But from what I understand, that is all it is that they are more or less enabling a program that's already on the bike, or maybe just adding code to make parts that are already on the bike actually operate. And that gets into the part that I have issues with. You've already bought the quick shifters, they're on the bike, they're in there. You've already paid for the bike. That also means that the company has already rolled their cost of the quick shifters and all this other stuff into the bike, regardless, because there's going to be people that don't pay the extra to have them unlocked, and they've got to make profit anyway. So they've already rolled that cost into the price of the bike. It's already there. All that would have to be done is flip the switch to make the stuff work. But they want you to pay more money and go to a shop to make the pieces already on the bike that you've already paid for actually function. Reading up on what other people think about this situation, some people are calling it like borderline extortion. And I really can't say that they're wrong, because they're basically ransoming the parts of the vehicle from working correctly unless you pay them more money. And that's sketchy, man. That's really sketchy to me. Unfortunately, the reason that that business model works and will probably continue to work is because there are people out there that are willing to pay that little bit extra to get an edge. In a way, that has always been around in the form of, you know, you could buy a supercharger, you could buy a turbocharger, you could buy a programmer for your vehicle to get that little extra oomph out of it. But you're adding components, or you're paying some third party to modify the code. In Tesla's performance pack, the added power is equivalent to a tuner. It's rewriting a small section of code to basically let the vehicle use more battery power quicker, produce more power. And that's part of the reason why that business model, even though it kind of sounded sketchy, still sort of made sense. You're just paying the manufacturer of the vehicle to do what you would have paid a third party to do. Now, going into Zero's case, they are actually locking you out of battery capacity to some extent, and asking you to pay more for it so that you can actually get full use out of your battery. That's something else, man, let me say. There was an airbag vest, I believe from Climb, that was called the AI-1, that has a monthly subscription model to it. You go for a ride, you get in an accident, your airbag vest is not going to inflate because you didn't pay their monthly fee. They may be spreading the cost of components through that subscription plan. When it comes to that kind of a business model, I've got to say that at least me personally, I would rather pay a little more up front and have a product that's going to work when I want it or need it to work, rather than get it a little bit cheaper and pay you monthly with the option of canceling my subscription, with the side effect that my airbag vest is not going to do airbag things and that I might as well not have it. To me, that just opens up way too much risk, and it's not worth the initial investment over an airbag vest that's just going to work when you need it to work. And I totally understand that a lot of this video, basically all of this video, is my opinion on this stuff, and everybody has their own opinion. There's going to be the people that are willing to pay the extra money to have that little extra thing, or to unlock this little extra feature, because it makes them feel good about spending the money to unlock this extra thing. And some of those people even have the kind of mindset of, you know, why pay for what you're not going to use? Why pay for what you're not going to need? In which case, I go back to what I stated earlier on KTM's design. You've already bought the pieces. They are there. You have paid for them. They just don't work. So, while sometimes, yes, that argument of why pay for what you don't need is reasonable, there's other times that it really doesn't apply. Drop a comment down below. Let me know your opinion on this whole pay-to-play thing on motorcycles, or pay-to-unlock, whatever you want to call it. Is this something that you can get behind, or do you just not see the logic in it? To me, that stuff should stay in phone games where you can pay that little bit extra to not wait 15 minutes. If I buy a motorcycle, I want it to be fully capable every time, all the time. But until next time, guys, stay safe, stay sane, peace.